Well, they had gotten home after a long day of work, but it had been pretty obvious from the start that she had had a really rough day. She shared about the demands of her new boss, the demands that he was placing on her. She talked about her coworker who was giving her a lot of grief and stabbing her in the back. Then she talked about some growing health concerns for her and also about the situation with her aging parents. And then she talked about concern for their daughter and the boy that she was dating. And he sat there and listened quietly without saying anything. And right after she finished, he said, "So, honey, what's for dinner?" Talk about clueless. Well, today's gospel reading is very much like that. For the third time, Jesus tells his disciples that he is going to be condemned to death. They're going to mock him, flog him, and kill him. And immediately after Jesus says all this, James and John ask for places at Jesus' right hand and left hand in his glory. Talk about clueless. And it all just makes you ask, who's really blind and who really sees? The Holy Gospel according to Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. They were on the road going up to Jerusalem, and Jesus was walking ahead of them. They were amazed, and those who followed were afraid. He took the 12 aside again and began to tell them what was to happen to him, saying, "See, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be handed over to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death. Then they will hand him over to the Gentiles. They will mock him and spit upon him and flog him and kill him, and after 3 days he will rise again." James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came forward to him and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What is it you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit one at your right hand and one at your left hand in your glory." But Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?" They replied, "We are able." Then Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink you will drink, and the baptism with which I am baptized you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand or my left is not mine to grant, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared." When the 10 heard this, they began to be angry with James and John. So Jesus called them and said to them, "You know that among the Gentiles, those whom they recognize as their rulers lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. But it is not so among you. But whoever wishes to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you must be slave of all. For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." They came to Jericho. As he and his disciples and a large crowd were leaving Jericho, Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus, a blind beggar, was sitting by the roadside. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout out and say, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Many sternly ordered him to be quiet, and he cried out even more loudly, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus stood still and said, "Call him here." And they called the blind man, saying to him, "Take heart, get up, he is calling you." So throwing off his cloak, he sprang up and came to Jesus. Then Jesus said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" The blind man said to him, "My teacher, let me see again." Jesus said to him, "Go. Your faith has made you well." Immediately he regained his sight and followed him on the way. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ.